It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Okay, there's a rumor out there in the Document Imaging channel that a major OEM is going to go out there and buy up a mega dealer. Folks, that seems like a crazy rumor, right? Seems like why would a manufacturer want to buy a mega dealer when we see manufacturers shedding themselves of dealers? So I thought, you know what? Let's do an end of the day with Ray episode on it because, folks, there are some possibilities out there, and some of these possibilities I don't think people are thinking about. Or if they are thinking about them, they're not sharing any of those thoughts. And on the end of the day with Ray, that's what I do. I like to share some thoughts, make people think a little bit differently, and maybe those thoughts can start some different conversations. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's pull up the OEMs. Let me get my magic board from Sharp working here. I love this board, folks. I got my pen in my hand. Let's talk about some of these OEMs and rule out the ones that are probably not going to go out there and buy up a mega dealer. Are you ready? Let's start there first. Well, the first one we know for sure, Brother, is not going to go out there and buy up a mega dealer. It's not going to happen. Lexmark, I seriously doubt they're going to go out there and buy up a mega dealer, right? We got our friends over at Konica Minolta. Well, ladies and gentlemen, they just got rid of some direct operations. It doesn't really make sense for them to go out there and buy a mega dealer, does it? I mean, you know, crazier things have happened, but I'm ruling them out. Toshiba, you know, Toshiba's had their own issues over the years. They're out there. They're probably going to, in my opinion, they're going to be merged with another OEM probably. I don't see them running around buying up mega dealers. Just doesn't really make any sense. I don't see what they would get out of that. You know, a mega dealer selling a whole bunch of different products. I don't think that works. So I'm going to cross them off too. Our friends over at Ricoh, well, you know, Ricoh, they kind of did what Konica did, but they did it on a massive scale. You know, they shed a whole bunch of direct operations back in 2017. Again, you know, 4 years later, let's go buy up a mega dealer. Doesn't make any sense. Plus, you know me, I want Ricoh and Kyocera to get together as one company. Boy, that'd be awesome. Kyocera, I don't see them going out there and buying up a mega dealer. They might have some aspirations. Hey, we could grow. Let's go buy up a mega dealer. But in all reality, it's going to be too confusing. It'll be too distracting. Buy up a mega dealer with a bunch of different brands in there. It's just, I don't see how that's a path, a strategic path for Kyocera. So I'm going to cross them off too. So that leaves us with Sharp and Canon and Epson and our friends over at HP. And of course, Xerox, who I don't consider a manufacturer. I'll get there in a minute. But ladies and gentlemen, Sharp, you know, I did that video on Sharp not too long ago. Sharp has a business unit called 8K Ecosystems. In that 8K Ecosystems, there's $11 billion worth of business. Folks, we know that the print business for Sharp is probably, what, $3 billion, maybe $4 billion at the most. And so they have a big, substantial business of products that resellers can sell to end users. As more and more end users consume information behind glass, Sharp is in a perfect position for that. They're doing great with products like this fantastic interactive board I have here. And so Sharp, go running around buying up a mega dealer, I don't know if that helps them any. They don't really need to buy up a mega dealer because they'll be selling most of the distribution channels their other products as print declines more and more. They may even be selling other manufacturers their print products. So there's a lot of things that Sharp can do, and buying up a mega dealer I don't see as being one of them. Our friends over at Canon, folks, Canon has a big direct operation already. I believe they'll probably exit out of that direct operation. I believe Canon will sell all of it off sooner or later. Canon's also the biggest one on the board in the revenues that they get from print. They're huge, folks, okay? They're the manufacturer. They make a lot of the HP stuff, right? So Canon is a manufacturer. Do they want to gobble up another manufacturer, take another manufacturer out and make them even bigger? To me, that would be a better aspiration for Canon than buying up direct operations to add to a direct business that I believe they're going to sell off. So I'm crossing them off. Okay, Epson. Let me just cross them off. Okay, so we got Fujifilm, Xerox, and HP left. We got Xerox, Fujifilm, and HP left. And so now let's go to the map. Let's go to the map with the mega dealers and see how this could make some sense for one of those three. So ladies and gentlemen, let me cross off this screen here. We're going to go to this. The first thing I want to do is I want to pull up this article that you'll find on HP's website talking about one of their acquisitions. Back in 2018, they bought a company called Apogee in Europe. Apogee in Europe, they paid 380 million euros for Apogee, which translates to about $452 million. They paid a lot of money for that company. That company wasn't even doing $452 million US dollars in revenue. And so basically they paid a multiple of earnings that was well past 5. And so when you think about that, HP course, you know, if you listen to some of my videos, I'm not a big fan of HT because I think they make delusional aspirations and they say things sometimes that seem a little bit nutty to me. And so, you know, them buying up a mega dealer kind of makes some sense in my mind. It's something they would probably do. So without any further ado, let's pull up the map. So if you look at the map here, I got the same mega dealers I had last time. Our friends over at Dex, Marco, Visual Edge, Ray Morgan, which is part of UBO, and FlexPrint. These are some players in the market that we all know are what? For sale. We do know that Dex is owned by Staples Imaging, and Staples is owned by Sycamore Partners. But, you know, Dex Imaging, you know, they just shared on LinkedIn not too long ago that they have that $1 billion aspiration. So he shared it again. He wants to have $1 billion worth of business inside Dex Imaging, and he doesn't want to wait 95 years to get there. This is a short ambition of his. And so in order for Dex Imaging to get that $1 billion worth of distribution, he's got to buy a major player. Personally, I want him to buy, whoops, I got to get my magic board working. Personally, I want him to go out there and work out a deal with Marco. You know, now I did that video, I don't know, a week or so ago. So, you know, I really want Dex and Marco to get together. But let's take that out of the mix for a second. You got our friends over at Fujifilm. We got our friends over at Xerox. And we got our friends at HP. Which one of these folks could buy a mega dealer? Well, folks, if you just look at the board right here, I'm going to go with Xerox buying Visual Edge. That's my first pick. If Xerox buys Visual Edge, one of the largest companies inside Visual Edge is what? Was an old Xerox dealer? I mean, that's all they did was Xerox. I still believe that's the core of their deliverable. And so it makes sense. There's a lot of Xerox inside Visual Edge. It just makes sense. It's a strategy that makes sense. They could clean up some of the synergies, put some add backs on the bottom line. It could be a home run for Xerox. Fujifilm, I mean, who are they going to buy? Folks, this is insanity. Fujifilm's not going to go out and buy a mega dealer. They want to come to the U.S., obviously, folks. They're already here. I saw their van in the Chicago hotel. Remember that? So they're already in the marketplace, but they got to have distribution. A mega dealer's not going to give them the distribution they need. Personally, they need to work out a deal with their friends at Xerox again. They just need to get through the crap, work out a deal, and stay the manufacturer for Xerox. So that leaves HP. So we already know that HP, in fact, does buy mega dealers. We know that they'll probably pay a lot of money for them. We know that they have, you know, aspirations sometimes that don't line up with realities in the marketplace, according to me. So who would that be? Well, folks, I hate to say this because it messes up my vision of Dex and Marco, but a good player for HP would in fact be Marco. You know, Marco gives them a substantial company in the U.S., a company that's in the IT services business. You know, the company they bought over there in Europe, Apogee, you know, they did an announcement a little while ago and they said, we're no longer a print services company, we're an IT services company. I thought that article was so ridiculous that I actually did an End of the Day with Ray episode on it, and I interviewed my good friend Greg Van Walker. We talked about, you know, declaring yourself an IT services company when it represents less than 10% of your revenue. Well, we know that Marco's revenue for IT services is well past 10% of their total revenue. We also know Marco's a well-run company. That could be a strategic acquisition for a company like HP. And then once they acquire Marco, leave it up to Marco to go add to that distribution. Leave it up to Marco to go out there and buy up some of these other mega dealers. Real possibility now, folks. I mean, can you imagine? Maybe Eureka and the Doles are down there and they're in some kind of a vendor auction like people buy a house today. Folks, to think HP wouldn't come and buy a mega dealer is, I think they would, because they've already done it. I think they do things that are, like I said, a little bit questionable against the realities in the marketplace. Do I think it would be a good thing to whoever they bought? I don't know, probably not. But there are going to be some things that are going to shake things up. We all know it's coming, right? So Fujifilm, I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know how you're going to get your distribution that you need without doing a deal with Xerox. Xerox is the largest dealer in the world, $7 billion distributor of products that other people make. One day, I think my friends at Xerox will probably be calling up my friends over at Sharp and saying, hey, give us some of that glass technology you have. We want to sell that. Real probability there. Sharp is in a really good position to offer products outside of print to a lot of distribution channels. So anyway, there's just a lot of things to think about when we hear these kind of rumors. We got to kind of strategize how they're going to impact the marketplace so we're ready when they happen. Because we also know that rumors in today's world eventually become, well, they become possibilities, which become probabilities, and probabilities become reality quicker than ever. But ladies and gentlemen, everybody knows this. Status quo is the killer of all that will be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll see you all tomorrow.